Hello there. Welcome to my new channel. Of course, I have another YouTube channel. Probably say in the comments or description where it is. There's a lot of family that follow me there. I will agree with a lot of truth I'm speaking, a lot of things I'm saying. Maybe they'll find this anyways. It's not like I'm saying anything super. I mean, it's going to be controversial. You've got to be honest. Start to scratch the surface here. So let's get to it. Basically, I mean, let's go outright say it. There's really no sane reason, no real logical reason to have kids anymore, right? You know, you're setting them up for failure. Even if you're rich, even if you say, oh, I'm going to put them in the best schools, I'm going to homeschool them, I'm going to just look around, man. Where is nature fully protected? Where is the system really have our back, right? What is there even, where's their hope? There really isn't. Or you think about it, I'm kind of drawing a blank here, but especially I'll have to make specialized videos about this, especially my home state of Florida. It's a sad, sorry state of affairs. Um, just they just allow business to come in and just completely take over. And they say, oh, we're going to spend X many hundreds of millions of dollars to preserve the land before it's turned into businesses and new residential properties. It's just a joke, right? If they don't spend at least $1 billion, and they don't, they spend like what, up to like 200, 300 million per year. If that, they've been draining that fund. People set it up. That's what makes the world go around, right? Money. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish you could write to your legislature, write to your governor, email them, and it made a difference. It doesn't, right? I especially learned that I was fighting these toll roads they were going to build in North Florida, right? One of the nicest, shoot, it's backwards, but right there, Big Bend Nature Coast. I'd be surprised if that's not developed up in like 10 or 20 years, if that. Right now, all of Central Florida, ever been around there? It's a cluster F, a big cluster. Literally, in Orlando, it could be in the middle of the weekday, right? When I went to go hiking one of those nice trails along the St. Johns River, literally in the middle of the weekday, it took me an hour to travel about 30 miles. Hey, Florida does not have the infrastructure for that to have millions and millions and millions of people. There's already 20 something million people, along with 150 million tourists every year. It's a joke. There's not going to be enough water. There's not going to be enough jobs. Uh, Jobs are very low paying. It's not keeping up with inflation. I already spend about half my income in rent alone. It's amazing. I do as much traveling as I do right now. I'm not really saving much in the bank, watching out for my own sanity, but especially to say there's hope for the future. How? Please tell me. How are we going to save these endangered species or near endangered species? Their land keeps shrinking from big agriculture, right? Big agriculture destroys everything eventually, if not residential properties themselves, business plots. They don't care. That's the thing. They're not trying to destroy nature. They just give don't give a damn, quite frankly. They care about money. And that's, especially being involved with this. I talked at 2 commissioner meetings. I attended 3. The first one, especially Marion County, they really were really offended. They're like, we can't do anything here. Why aren't you talking to the state about this? The other 2 I spoke at, I think they wanted to make you feel like, oh, yeah, we're listening. We're going to pass the word on. But you never know. You don't know who else is meeting with them, who's paying their lobbying against them, commissioners. They're appointed. They're not there to represent the people. right? And it's a shock when people hear this, they don't want to believe it. Oh no, the government is here for us. I'm paying the tax. I'm paying for government to be watch my back. No, look up. There's even documentaries and lectures about all the surveillance going on us, how much they spend billions upon billions of dollars. They can spend that on infrastructure, improve what we need to improve the current roads, not build more toll roads, even though this got canceled. Probably, I guarantee you, there are probably people making death threats and crazy stuff, as there were, because all the springs and stuff, all the nice rivers up there, they were actually going to drain that, pipe all that water down to Tampa where we really need it. Now we might get in Tampa area, we might have to filter our own wastewater. There's just way too many people we can't. And now they're going to build up right near the, what's it called, Upper Hillsborough River. But that was probably doomed anyways. How are they going to save all that farmland up there though? They're not doing, they're not buying up the land like they should be. So yeah, I need to collect my thoughts. And this is just going to be scratching the surface here. And I know I'm just scratching the surface here. I can go on and on about sad state of my home state of Florida. It'll keep going under. There's no hope. Really wish there was. Sea level rise, increased agriculture as the West is drying up. Everybody is moving up to North Florida from South Florida, the West, the North. They know the land is cheap, the pollution is not taxed, right? Still pretty relatively pristine. It's got very sandy soil, so they have to put lots and lots of fertilizer that end up in the rivers and springs, and they'll continue to be degraded. It sucks. I really wish it wasn't. But especially, if you have any remote critical thinking about having kids nowadays, just why you have them. Is it a natural urge? Is it the biodiversity of the planet that's increasing? Is the economy getting better? No, it's not. Just think about it. How many trillions are we in debt? Who's going to pay that off? Future generations, hopefully? Or are we just going to be enslaved by other nations and other institutions even more than we are right now? That's probably largely why this hyperinflation is going on, because so many debts we just can't pay off, and it's getting worse all the time. And I know people are just becoming numb to it or something. They just want to live half brain dead and enjoy whatever there is left, but they get so caught up in surviving and pretending that everything is fine that they get deluded enough that they want to have kids and bring it into this sick world. Because let's face it, we're a part of this world whether we want to be or not. And if you want to survive, you better find some passions, find some interests, but at the same time, let's not really be deluded and think that we're also meant to bring more life and sustain this sick existence, right? That's just making it worse. You're just putting all these environmental burdens, you really want to see these die out. Sharks, they kill worldwide hundreds of, no, not like hundreds of millions, but many tens and tens of millions of these worldwide are dying out. Whole ecosystems are collapsing because, why are they mostly killed? Because of long lining, and especially shark finning. It's big business around that. But that's the thing, man. Everything has a dollar sign. I knew it was over when people, up in North Florida, those springs, which for a minute there, I felt like life was really looking up and worth living to visit those springs, until I really realized that they're full of algae, the flows are declining, they're not protected. Watch the documentary Fellowship of the Springs, super depressing. It's on Amazon. If you really want to, or there's a drying up Florida water crisis book But anyways, I'll have to talk about that in another video. Mostly talking here about the rationale of anti-natalism. We're starting to in this video. It's not just happening in Florida; it's happening all over the place. Money talks, right? Because I didn't want to believe it. That only biggest way to make change in the legislature is to lobby, have money. Right? Why would there be environmental lawsuits if writing to the governor, writing to your commissioner, talking at commissioner meetings, if that actually worked, then why do that? Why is there environmental lawsuits? Why is there labor lawsuits? Why? It's just going to get worse, man. They're shifting baselines all the time. Just imagine 100 years ago how much more nature there was. You actually had the Amazon rainforest. It used to be a carbon sink. Now it's a carbon source. I can find some sources for that. I know I heard that in a lecture. Same with, I mean, we're just seeing the start of the collapse of industrial civilization. To be honest, it's going to suck. There's going to be a lot of death, a lot of famine, hyperinflation. People are going to try to get together at the last moment and be all local and be all, we're in this together. But that's not going to save the billions and billions of people that are doomed to starve. Are we really going to put a sorry, sad soul on this planet just to starve to death that has like 0% chance of reaching old age? I'm 30 years old. I don't know if I'm going to reach 60, 70, 80. Quite frankly, I'd be completely fine with that. I've suffered enough, man. This world is a joke in so many ways. People don't care about smart people. They care about what makes them feel good, being included, being in a group, being part of a popular crowd, being cool, being hip. Nobody wants to admit that nature is screwed. All the nice rivers are screwed, especially in Florida. Whether it's because of dams, Swanee River. Plenty of videos on that on my other YouTube channel. How nice it is. Irreplaceable. How many springs there are. And people, that's the thing, people have to have a deep, intimate connection. Otherwise, they don't care that Nestle and Blue Triton is up there bottling millions and millions of gallons, putting it on the groceries, stealing our water. And for what? Just so they can make a profit. I feel like I'm leaving out something, but I know I'm just scratching the surface here. Have any questions? Talking in commissioner meetings. I'll have to talk about that in the future. There's definitely passionate, smart people out there. It's just unfortunate we can't really do anything unless we had big bucks. But if we had big bucks, we probably wouldn't be going to the river anyways for fulfillment. We'd probably own our own island or something. Get away from everybody else and all the jet skis and all the boats and all the crying kids out in public, right? So these places are doomed to be screwed. Pretty much everywhere it is. Sea level rise, pollutants, overpopulation. You think the United States is not going to be overpopulated by migrants, because we're not replacing our own population. There's going to be more shifting baselines. There's going to be more poverty, right? Because those people, they will work for next to nothing. Versus, what do I get for being a native Floridian for 30 years? I get nothing. I get shifting baselines. I could see the collapse in my state unless I move out. And quite frankly, I might. It's quite sad, but life goes on until it can't, I guess. But especially, yeah, I feel like I don't even have to expand on it. Why would you have a kid? Why would you voluntarily have a kid in this very depressing, cruel world that judges men, women, they're all just tools, man. They're tools for the system. They'll be taxed. If they make any substantial money, taxed. That goes to the global industrial military complex, if not the NSA surveillance state. That's what the money largely goes to, if not overseas aid. Why are we still paying billions and billions of dollars going overseas? But you know what? I think that's good instruction. Get the conversation going. Yeah. And until next time.